Hi, we're Kylesa.
You're watching Transmissions Live.
So how's since you guys have two drummers on tour with you now?
Correct.
And I I just met him earlier, and he's your main percussionist drummer. Do you work with
Carl?
Yeah, Carl. Do you work with him mainly? And then how's two drummers work in a studio with you guys?
Again, it's different with each album and song by song. For this album, Carl actually did a lot of both drum parts himself.
Okay.
You know, like two different kits, two different beats. And then Eric actually came in and did the same on a couple of songs as well. So, and then there's a couple of songs where they both played together. And then, you know, there's songs where people just did percussion. I did a little bit of percussion myself.
Okay.
It was all over the place.
It's kind of all over the place. I mean, I think we all played bass at one point too.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, it's pretty
Nice.
open-ended right now. Everyone's playing multiple instruments,
Okay.
and so if somebody has an idea, we just throw it down. You know, like she told me she wanted to play bass on a song. I was like, okay, and it was awesome. So I was like, okay, cool. There's no point in getting a bassist to do this. She's already got it. You
Nice.
know? And
Where was it recorded? Is it back in
Columbia, South Carolina?
It's Columbia, South Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
Is that home now, or you're? It says you're from Savannah. Is that where you guys?
Savannah
lay your
is
hats?
home base,
Okay.
but we all are kind of float around a lot.
Carl and I live in Savannah, and he recently moved to Columbia,
Okay.
mainly to be near the studio, which
Right.
makes sense.
Okay.
And Eric, who's been with us off and on since '08, is in. He lives in Miami,
Okay.
but comes up, you know, when
And
we
is
need to
that
rehearse and
home
stuff.
for you guys? You're from the area?
Savannah?
Yeah.
For the most part, yeah.
Most part, okay.
I mean,
I've lived in Savannah a long time. I'm not from there,
Okay.
but I've lived there off and on since the late '90s.
Okay. How's the scene in Savannah? You kind of described because I know there's a good metal scene from that area. And there was that film I saw, was it Southern?
Slow Southern Steel.
Yeah.
Excuse me, hopefully I got that right. And I saw, were you guys a part of that? I think I saw
briefly, yeah.
Yeah, we're in it
a
briefly.
little headbanger from you and a lot of headbanging from you and the cuts. So it's like, oh, I can't even talk about that. So is that a good description of kind of like the scene of Savannah? And
Savannah's so cyclic because it's primarily a college town and it's a small city. I don't think people realize how small it really is.
Okay.
There's a decent scene there right now, but I wouldn't say it's necessarily just metal. It's more all over the place. There's a lot of cool like indie rock. There's some young kids they have a great surf band. There's punk and there's metal, but it's all over the place. But it's pretty small because it's a small community.
Right.
But you know, there's stuff happening.
I know.
Yeah,
And are the guys you're playing with going on tour? Are they from that part of town, or how'd the tour actually connect? How'd you?
Laserwolf's from Atlanta, which is about 4 hours away, and I met those guys from working with them in the studio, and
Okay.
I'd seen them play a few times and thought they were awesome, and wanted to bring them out. And then the other bands just were suggested to us, and we checked them out and liked them and thought it would be a good.
And that's how it happened.
Good tour.
Yeah, I'm really happy aesthetically with all the bands.
Okay,
I think
good.
they sound really.
Yeah, I'm
It's
excited
a nice
to see them.
package, and they're
Should be-
cool.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah, that helps. That's a big thing. So what's next up for you guys on the tour?
We're gonna drive to Portland.
Okay. Heading straight out tonight, or?
No, we have a day off to do the
Okay.
drive, so we'll leave tomorrow.
Okay. Do you do like the touristy things on tour? Do you go like to Alcatraz and whatever you can fit in, or you just like?
I wish we had time to
Yeah.
do more of that. Unfortunately, there's not. It seems like there's not always a lot of time. I think we're gonna try to do something tomorrow, either in the Redwoods or on the coast,
Nice.
since we have the time.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Is there any cities on this tour for the U.S. tour that you haven't hit yet, or anything you're looking forward to, or festivals, or?
San Francisco is my favorite place to play, so I'm happy to be here.
Same here.
Good.
Same here.
All right. Well, I'll give you tips on where you can go hang out in the redwoods in this
Cool.
coast tomorrow.
Take
previous album, Vaults, Volume 1, how'd that project come together? Was it a trip to go through your old archives? Was it different, weird, strange?
It was kind of weird listening to all that material.
Some of it was definitely weird. I probably went through the most amount of material myself.
Okay.
It kind of like pulled this side and brought this forward for everybody else here. And originally it was meant to be for our 10-year anniversary. That's what the plan was. And we got so busy touring on Spiral Shadow and just things kept happening, we had to kind of put it off a little bit. And as I was going through this stuff, I realized, wow, we have volumes of stuff. So what we decided to do was to put it, songs together that would fit and flow like an album, not just throw a bunch of stuff together, just to throw it out. I mean, I guess we could have thrown it all on one CD or something, but we wanted it to be listenable, something that's could be in any Kylesa album,
Sure.
And so we also picked a few songs that we thought had changed a lot over time, from us playing them live, and re-recorded those. And that's about it.
You got a new album, yeah. Oh, that's nice.
That's cool.
So, if you're taking requests tonight, my favorite song, you guys, is Almost Lost off Static Tensions.
Oh, right on.
And I just love that song. Do you have a song, like your favorite song for this album that you kind of you think represents you guys or represents the album? Or
They're so different, some of the songs, and we've only started playing a few of them live. We haven't played certainly not all of them live, and
for me, out of the new ones, I really like playing Unspoken live.
that's a fun one.
It just feels right when we play it live. It's a fun song to play, and I really enjoy that one.
Right when you're on the set list, you're like, oh.
Yeah, I get excited playing it.
let's talk about the album. Comes out May 28th. Do you have, shiny vinyl over here. Do you have any other like special editions that you guys have coming out maybe down the road?
I think
talk
they're all about
stuff?
sold out.
They're pretty much sold out, but
Really?
we had several
Yeah.
editions, but I think they're gone. This is our tour edition.
Okay.
So I think there's 250 copies of this, and but we love vinyl and we love fun projects, so I'm sure we'll do something down the line.
Good. Good. Yeah, you guys have a pretty good design eye, and Pushhead did your logo. Is that correct?
He
Or
did.
Back in the day.
He did.
okay.
Yeah.
Our first album.
And your first
cover,
album stuff.
7-inch.
A couple
And he's-
7 inches.
He's done a couple things for some okay bands in the area.
Would
too.
say so. Yeah.
Just a
So
few.
it's pretty fun. And the concept, the album. What is the concept of this album? I mean, we've talked about the songs and stuff. Did you have a basic why Ultraviolet?
It was kind of based around the themes of loss and the different motifs of loss. Lyrically, musically, when we write, we just write.
Okay.
But he and I had talked about kind of what we wanted to write about lyrically, and also, of course, we talk about what we want to write musically as well. But we were just both on the same page as to where we wanted to go with this record and what we wanted to accomplish. But we had, both had a couple of really hard years, and when we write lyrics, it's generally about personal life experience rather than fantasy or dragons or something. But which I like, nothing wrong with dragons.
Nothing wrong with that.
They're very in right now too.
So we just thought it was an appropriate concept to work with, when we have a concept like that, it's at least for me, it's easier to write.
Okay.
Rather than it being like, oh, we could do anything.
Right.
What should we do?
It needs to have a purpose.
Yeah.
Is very cathartic when you're talking about loss and stuff like that. When it's printed and done, do you feel pretty, lack of a better word, cathartic for that?
I'm glad it's over.
I'm glad it's over too.
It was hard to record.
Right.
Because if you're going to do it right and you're going to do it, honestly, you really have to
You
bring
have to feel it.
Yeah.
bring some of those demons out. And there was definitely some pretty grim moments when we were doing vocals, for sure. Discussion, just discussing things and what the song is going to be about. Yeah, I'm glad it's done.
You're glad it's done. Do you get that same vibe when you're playing live, or is it more of
It
just
feels better
performance?
live.
It feels
Okay.
better live. It's a
Okay.
different kind of catharsis, you
Okay.
know.
Good.
Yeah.
That sounds really healthy.
I guess
It is.
Yeah,
I love playing
it
music.
is.
It's a healthy outlet.
All right. ask you some quick questions. What was your first album? And do you still have it?
First album?
Yeah. I'm sorry, just going in a record store growing up, what was your first album that you got, or that you remember, that made the most impact to you?
I think this is kind of embarrassing, but I think it was Guns N' Roses' Appetite for Destruction.
Okay. That was my first CD, and I didn't even have a CD player.
Yeah.
I just got the album, and I
Yeah.
was looking at the artwork.
I was pretty obsessed with that record.
Good. All right. I'll put you on the spot.
Yeah, it's so, God, that's so long ago. It's hard to remember what my first record was, but I think the first record I ever bought with my own money was Sex Pistols' Nevermind the Bollocks.
All right.
I think so. I think I remember listening in the car with my parents and them asking me why would I want to buy that record. But that's probably it.
Okay. And what about your first instrument or guitar? And do you still have that?
I got a intro cheap Yamaha acoustic when I really wanted an electric, but
Okay.
I tried not to act disappointed when I
Right.
got it. I was still like, oh, well, it's a
Okay.
guitar, it's cool. And I do still have it.
Nice. How about you?
Yeah, my first guitar was a Harmony.
You're right.
Yeah, it wasn't so good, but it got me started.
Do you remember your first riff that you nailed down, and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna be a rock star?
Mine was Iron Man.
Mine was
Okay.
Iron Man too.
Really?
Yeah,
Nice.
it was.
I didn't have an amp, and I found out you could buy some sort of adapter at Radio Shack to play your guitar through your stereo.
Right. Yeah.
So I used to do that. Just
Right.
I'm sure it sounded terrible. I can't remember now, but just trying to play Iron
sounded
Man.
awesome.
It sounded awesome.
In your
I was
head
just like,
and in
yes,
person.
I'm playing
Nice.
Iron Man.
That's funny. I didn't know that was your first riff either.
That's good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll wrap up here. Thank you very much. I know you guys are busy. And,
Thank
thanks
you.
for taking the time.
Yeah, thank you guys.
I got a little present for you guys, beer fans.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
So one of our sponsors is Devil's Canyon Brewery down on the
Oh, that's
peninsula.
awesome.
Oh,
And I just got you some
Oh man,
pints to hand out later, and we got more for
this looks
the rest
really
of our-
good.
Yeah, it's a craft brewery down in San Carlos.
Cool.
And enjoy.
Thank you so much. Cool. I'll
Nice.
be drunk if I drink this right now.
Yeah.
What is
Yeah.
it, like
Well,
7.4%?
Yeah, put it in the cooler or whatever.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. Good idea.